face reveal for those who have never seen me. I'm doing another sketchbook session, but this one is special because I am collaborating with Arrtx. They reached out to me and sent me some of the products to review for you guys. Specifically, this black fine liner pen set. This is great timing actually because my good black pens completely dried out and I just cannot find them anywhere in stores, so this is great. This acrylic marker set, which is so exciting for me because I have wanted to try out something like this for a while now, so they reached out at a great time. And last but not least is this Simptap acrylic marker set, which is also awesome. Also, to be clear, I am not being paid to compliment these, so I'm gonna be as honest as possible, but also keep in mind that I've never used stuff like this before. Oh, I've used black pens, but I've never used acrylic markers, so I'm not gonna be able to really do a deep review with comparing them to different brands or something like that. But yeah, but first, here's the video of my friend and I unboxing these bad boys outside in the wind. So the sound quality is awful. I'm sorry. Не матюкай! Так, це перша посилка, тепер друга посилка.
Окей, let's go!
У мене якраз мої хороші ручки. Arrtx. Та що ж таке? Arrtx.
Чекай. О, Єпі.
Тут 36. Ё-моё. Так, я пам'ятаю, що так, це потім вклеїти на це, щоб було видно. Це вже вдома забула.
Покажемо.
А я такого не бачила, бо я дивилася, як розпаковували отакі. Що таке саме, тільки пастельне, по-моєму. Такого я не бачила. Вау. Вау. Чи може я тут на цій стороні? Чи тут на кришці пробувати? Окей, скетчбука немає. Виберіть колір. Вітер! Попробуй. Ти вже намалюєш. Ні, культурно. Рожевий. Возьму просто. Бачу. Вау! В мене такого не було ще. Забагато видавала. Упсі-пупсі. Я в ту сторону. Professional cameraman. Я хочу попробувати білий, як він буде поверх темненьких. Це сохне. На вітер поставити. Хай сохне. Можна в коробочці попробувати. Ну, ці такі, вони тут ще, походу, всі різні. Бачу, десь ширше, десь тонше. Треба щось простіше. Карточка. Воно розмазується? Так. Буду знати, що як помалю, треба почекати. Але прям таке.
Хитро.
Соковите.
Так.
Щоб воно висохло, бо я не хочу вимазати білий маркер. Та йо!
Ну тут ще
це висохло. Так. Як біленький буде поверх темніше. Ну краще, ніж мої ручки. Так, раз, два, три. В принципі, менше. Вмійте малювати рівно, щоб не треба було біле. Прямий репортаж.
доброго дня з вами.
Ліпимо на клей.
Давай.
Не потюкайся.
Я все.
That was my first impression. Since then, I have played around with these materials and can give a more detailed and constructive review. First, the black pens. There are 10 of them in the pack, ranging between 0.03 and 2 millimeters, as well as having some unique nibs. 7 of them have pretty much the same tip, just different sizes, and the other 3 have a brush tip, a chisel tip, and a bullet tip. They're all very opaque and black. Some black pens can be more like a dark gray. These are very black. I don't have a preference on either, just pointing that out. Some of them also bleed through paper. I swatched them on normal print paper, which, to be fair, is pretty thin, but still. And again, personally, that does not bother me at all. Also, they do smudge, so don't color over them right away. Give it a second to dry. Overall, I think the pens are very nice, and I like the variety. I can definitely see myself using different nibs for different purposes. Next, I swatched the acrylic marker set. There are 36 colors in this one. You don't need to pump them or anything, they're ready to go right away. They have a brush tip, which I haven't really used before, and I gotta say, they feel very nice. You can do very thin lines as well as thicker ones. I do need to practice thin lines though. The colors are really nice and opaque, and as you'll see later, they go over each other easily. I do have to say that some of the colors aren't exactly like on the cap, but it's not a huge difference, just a little darker or a little lighter. The white isn't super opaque, I had to do a couple layers, but again, it's not a big deal to me, but I have to point that out. I really like this set. It is very I really like this set. It is very pleasant to draw with. Yay! Next is the Simptap acrylic marker set. They have a brush tip as well. There are 24 of those, and they are the type that you need to pump before use. The instructions are on the back of the box, as well as the markers themselves. You shake it first, press the top until the nib is saturated, and there you go. I also shook it after pressing the top so the nib saturates faster. Just make sure the cap is on when you shake it, because I did not, and I got green paint on my beige pants, but that's me being stupid. Also, make sure not to overdo it. I overdid one of the pinks and now it's too wet, takes longer to dry, and it's harder to control, so just do a little bit at a time. You can always pump a little more if needed. There are also 2 metallic markers, which is something I only noticed when swatching, but yeah, there's a golden and a silver, which I love. The white is a little more opaque than in the other set, but you can just pump it more to do that. Again, this doesn't bother me personally. This set is also very cool and very fun, and I love it. And now I'm coloring the sketch I did actually some time ago specifically for this. I wanted to use all 3 products on this to make it fair. I also felt inspired to play around and experiment with the coloring a little bit. I chose a few colors to stick to, specifically blue, pink, and purple. Crazy, I know. Anyway, I did notice that the marker I'm using for the skin is a little dry, but I managed. All the other colors performed well. Also, I'm guessing that the first marker set I got is the basic one. I know there are also pastel and metallic sets, probably even more that I haven't even seen yet. So when I have the money, or if Arrtx want to do this again, I love to try those too. But as someone that has never used these materials before, I don't think I did too bad. Like I mentioned before, I really wanted to try something new and more expensive for a while, and Arrtx reached out at a great time. I've said this before, but I'm not a painter, and I don't really like painting. It is mostly because I don't like having to constantly mix the paint, wash the brush, and yada yada. I'm lazy like that, but I don't have to do that with these markers. I also didn't look up any tutorials or references, at least on this type of coloring, so I'm surprised at how well this turned out, like honestly. My coloring is usually pretty straightforward, especially traditionally. This, listen, I don't wanna like brag, but I killed it. The colors go over each other really well, doesn't matter if it's a lighter color over a darker one, or the other way around. Whenever I made a mistake, I could easily go over it later and fix it, which is awesome. And I made a lot of mistakes because, like I said, I need to practice doing more thin lines. But also because I'm not super experienced in this, I can't really give any tips. I just kinda put colors together and it worked out. So, sorry about that. And like I mentioned before, I can't really compare these markers to other brands because I know there's plenty of other acrylic markers out there. I know Copics. That's it. I didn't really try mixing the colors here in any way because I don't know, I didn't feel like it and I was kind of scared of ruining the marker tip. So just placing solid shapes of colors here and there until it makes sense. I didn't really use the pens though, now that I think about it. I only used one of them on the eyes and that's it. Whoops. This also isn't the first drawing that I did with these markers because I did this the day that I got these, and I don't know, I don't think it's that bad either. I wanna like figure out a style of coloring for these that it's not too different from my usual style, if you know what I mean. Because right now I don't really have a specific technique I'm going for, I'm just doing stuff. I keep repeating myself. And also, like, halfway through the process I realized that this looks like, I think, Sonata from the Dazzlings, which is, I mean, I'm not complaining, she's cool. Also, it took me like a little over 50 minutes to color all of this, so I don't know if that's like really fast or not. I usually don't spend that long coloring. Because in my previous sketchbook session, it took me, I don't know, maybe like an hour to do everything. To draw the character, to draw a little cake, to decorate the page, to literally hot glue lace into my sketchbook. So, I don't know. I kind of stopped doing like super interactive pages lately. And like, I like doing more simple pages, but I still sometimes have this like thought in the back of my mind that I need to do something cool and interactive, but like, no I don't. I can just do whatever. But it's just me being more critical toward myself. Of course, no one has ever like commented or anything that your pages aren't as interesting anymore. It's just me. And speaking of being more critical towards myself, I kind of, here and there in my videos, I say like, oh, this drawing of mine is bad, or my old art was like terrible and so bad. And usually people's response to that is like, no it's not, it's like actually really good. And I just didn't really think of that from the perspective of literally anyone but me, because obviously to other people my art is not gonna be bad. Even my 2020 art, it's not gonna be bad. But yeah, I don't know, I just kinda thought of that right now. See, I'll try not to like just throw that around anymore, because like, especially if, just imagine if you're a beginner artist and you see someone else say, oh, this drawing of mine is like really bad, and you as a beginner artist think that that drawing is actually really good and yours you think is worse. So like, that's just gonna make you feel worse, and I don't want that. So I'll try not to throw these comments around anymore, but I never mean it to like hurt anyone else. I'm just talking about my art. I also never say it to like fish for compliments or whatever, but I also understand that, like, what else do you say in the situation? Like, yeah, it is bad. No, you don't say that. You say, yeah, it's actually good. Because I draw like almost every day, so my drawings from a month ago might look really different from my drawings now. And yeah, I just don't really like my older art sometimes. This is like literally not that deep. I don't know why I'm like still yapping about this. Anyway. Also, can you tell that I'm not like reading a script anymore? Because I try to write scripts for my videos to not ramble or go off topic too much. But I don't know, I didn't have the time to write anything else for this video, so I'm just going and going. Anyway, how's your day? How are you doing? I'm going to the dentist soon and I'm really scared of that. I have so much footage to voice over, I'm like running out of things to say. Ooh, I've been thinking of maybe doing more rent type of videos, because my first rent did kind of well, so I was thinking of doing more. Maybe on tracing, maybe something else, I don't really know. So I'm open to suggestions. Also, I talked about it in my other sketchbook session, but I have been kind of slow on traditional art lately, but after getting these markers, I've just been feeling so inspired. I don't know, just I guess getting new stuff and getting to use it is really cool, really motivating. That's kind of why I'm very often getting new stuff, whether it's drawing supplies or just potential decorations I could use in a sketchbook, because like I got really cool meat looking sticky notes, and right when I saw them in the store I was like, oh my god, I can do so many cool pages with this. I have to get them. And I did. I haven't used them that much yet, but that's kind of an example of how getting new stuff helps me get the creative juices. Or getting these markers immediately inspired me to try something different with my coloring, so there's that as well. And it might sound dumb, but TikTok also really helps me with that. Like, I could see a really nice edit, like from a movie I have never seen or something like that, but it's really pretty, and I watch it and I draw it and it's just really cool, and it's another thing that I can be a fan of, so that's cool as well. It also helps me watch more movies and shows, because I've never really been good at that, but I'm trying. A huge example of this is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I started getting a lot of videos and edits on Hilda Furacao, I think that's how you pronounce it, Hilda Hurricane. It's an old Brazilian show, I think. Never heard of it before, none of that. But the main two actors, especially the one that plays Hilda, oh my goodness. All of the edits and stuff inspired me to watch the show. Despite how much I had to skip, I still really liked it, and just, oh, it's so good. I've kind of been struggling with drawing the main actress though, which is, it annoys me so bad because she has such a great face, and like I can see how to like break it down and draw it, but when I actually try to do it, it doesn't really work as well as I want. But that's just another reason to draw her more, so. But anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here because I'm quite frankly running out of topics to talk about. Here's the final drawing I did. I don't think I did too bad for someone who's not experienced in these type of markers. I did a lot of layers in some areas, but they're not feeling like thick or cakey, whatever at all. Everything is very smooth, very cute, very pretty, and this was really good, really pleasant, really fun, really nice. I definitely do recommend getting something from them if you haven't, and if you have the money, have the means. Thank you so much to Arrtx for reaching out to me and sending me these products. I feel very professional doing this. All of the links to them will be in the description, as well as the links to my other socials. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, subscribe, comment, all that. Thank you again. Stay safe and bye.